What do organizing and counseling have in common? Hi, I'm Susan Stewart, professional organizer and owner of Perfectly Placed.
And I'm Travis Stewart, a professional counselor. And this is Organizing Deep Dive, where we take a deeper look at the issues surrounding organizing so that your life is easier.
I'm wondering, for our clients that realize maybe they are struggling with some anxiety, how can you help, or how can a therapist help with that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So anxiety treatment will take on a lot of different forms. There's different things that can be helpful. So one would be some breathing. I'm going to teach you a breathing technique that can help ground you in the moment. One is medication can be helpful when appropriately prescribed. And then therapy to help evaluate and explore those thoughts and feelings, and that can be, it doesn't have to dive into the past, but it might look at where those developed, how you developed that anxiety and those patterns of thinking. But it also will look at the current, like what can you do to help with your thoughts and feelings that are contributing to the anxiety.
Our brains are just so full, like information coming at us 24 hours a day, and like you can only remember so much. So if you're trying to remember things, especially to-do items, I say it has to be written down as the trigger, not seeing the item, but actually writing it down or typing it, on your phone. That's fine too. Something like that.
That reminds me of a great quote from Christina Scalise. She said, "Clutter is a visual to-do list."
Oh, yeah.
So if you have clutter everywhere, it's like having a to-do list that's never ending.
Right? And a lot of people will leave things out to remember to do something. So that very thing also creates the clutter.
Right, absolutely, yeah. So a cluttered house makes us feel like we have so much to do and it's hard to rest.
Yeah.
You've mentioned before that you have clients who, with cluttered bedrooms, they have a harder time sleeping.
Yeah, that was the next one that I was gonna, and that goes along with, the mind racing too, of things I need to remember, things I need to do, and you can't fall asleep because you're thinking about all the things you need to do. So again, just having it written down kind of like gives you that peace of mind, like I'm not gonna forget it, it's written down, and now I can rest and go to sleep.
Well, let's talk for a minute about one technique that can help with anxiety.
That's good, a practical tip.
I talked about that anxiety is often future-oriented, almost always future-oriented. And so a practical tip, and you can do this before the organizer comes over to your house, right, is breathing. There's actually some breathing techniques that will help decrease the anxiety. And these can be done not only when the anxiety is high, but as like a common practice throughout the day to sort of help lower baseline anxiety. And so so this breathing technique's very simple, but you need to be intentional about it. So with this, you're going to count to 4, and then 4 again, and then 6. And so it's going to be in through your nose for 4. And you're going to hold for 4.
You got to tell me that ahead of time.
I think you're good. Yeah, I'll model it. So, and then you're going to breathe out for 6, right? But when you breathe out, you're going to breathe out almost like you're blowing out a candle, slowly, right? So through your mouth. So it's going to be, I'll model it for you. Okay. And also another thing that helps is to place your hand on your belly, because when you're breathing correctly, from your diaphragm, your belly expands more than your chest. So you want your belly to kind of expand when you're breathing in, right? Your chest, it's okay.
That's the opposite of what I would have thought.
So it's actually some of both, but mainly from the diaphragm. So it's going to be in 4, hold 4, and then blow out 6. So it's...
Hey, my 6 was longer than yours.
And so you just can do that for 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
And it helps lower the anxiety.
And probably also brings your heart rate down.
Oh yeah, I mean anxiety it's going to help your whole body.
Okay.
It's telling your brain to slow down. So sometimes just a deep sigh too, just a catching your breath can be helpful as well. So that's one tip for anxiety that can be helpful.
For more organizing or anxiety tips, visit perfectlyplaced.org/deep dive.